Hello and welcome to the Wolfchase Toyota Insider, the Memphis Tiger Network. I'm Jeff Rival alongside Richard Mulrooney as we get set to start soccer season at the University of Memphis. And Coach, we'll talk about your two matches coming up this weekend, including the home opener that's going to be out at Mike Rose. But first of all, let's go back. Tell us a little bit about how spring wrapped up and how the summer went.
Yeah, spring was actually a positive for us. It ended very well. We implemented a new system, and I thought the guys took it on very well. We had 3 transfers come in, which was some new blood. But I think we accomplished what we wanted to, which was just moving past last season. It wasn't the best season, and obviously our last game of the year really ended in a poor way. So just to come back out with a positive manner and just try to get the guys together and just grow in each and every day. And I think by the end of the year, we got some good results. And at the same time, gain confidence going into the summer when the guys go off and just sort of play with their own teams. Some guys were in internships or did both. So, you know, the way that the spring ended was a positive, and I think it left a feeling of, man, I can't wait to get back for the fall, which is obviously here now.
Now, you can't really monitor them too much in the summer because, as you mentioned, they go off. They may play some summer ball at some different places. How they look when they all came back?
You know what? Compared to last year, they were fit. Our message to them this summer was last year we started on 0-4-2. It's no secret. It's embarrassing to say, but at the same time, I think our fitness was a big issue. We only had 6 or 7 guys pass our fitness test last year. This year, we only had 3 or 4 guys miss it, whether it's due to injuries or just some guys not necessarily being ready. But when guys come in fit, I mean, that's half the battle. That means we can now focus on tactical work, technical work, instead of having to throw in fitness at the end and in the middle, and then you start throwing in, you know, guys may be pulling up lame and injuries because they're getting overworked just because it's only 2.5 weeks of preseason. There's not a lot of time, and you truly need each and every day, every minute to train and get ready for that first game that comes up. So the guys came in ready. It's been focused, and it's been a good preseason. I think we've been able to accomplish a lot. At the same time, we still have 3 days left. You know, even though our first game's Friday, excuse me. We need each and every day, and I'll go out to practice after this, and we need to get better from today, from tomorrow, from Thursday, and then we'll see where we're at Friday night. It won't be a final product, but I don't think there's many teams, if any at all, that will be ready, game speed, and playing like they will be by the end of the year. So the guys came in fit, the guys came in prepared, and it's made it easier for the coaching staff to come up with a game plan for them.
I guess it's a delicate balance once you get back to that fall camp, that late summer camp between. We want you to compete in camp for a playing spot, but also you guys need to start gelling and get ready to play as a unit.
It is. There's a fine line. You want to go out there and just let them play and have fun with it so you can evaluate. But there's a lot of things that we've got to go over. How we're going to organize defensively, offensively, the chemistry. We have 10 new freshmen that are in this fall. Obviously lost 6 seniors last year, so there's the chemistry of who's going to be at the left mid spot, the right back spot, the goalie competition this year. So you want to give them as much time on the field as possible, but at the same time, we obviously have to implement and show them how exactly we're going to play this year. Where are our strengths? Where can we be exposed at? So there is a lot of work to be done. I'd love it if we had an extra week or 2 of preseason. We don't, but everybody's in the same boat, and we'll see sort of where we're at come Friday night, but I'm comfortable with our progress so far.
How do you like how your schedule's built this year? I mean, you've been here long enough. It's all your schedule. How do you like how it plays out?
Very happy with it. Sometimes some of these games are set up 2 or 3 years in advance just because you have returns. Sometimes you have a city that you go to and it's just like, golly, I'd like to have a second game there, but you don't, so it's a long bus ride. This year it's finally panned out that I feel as though it's efficient. I think it works out for our schedule, and obviously with classes too. The guys with their classes, you don't want them to miss too much. We really limit classes of miss this year because we have 3-day games in the evening to Conway, to Lipscomb, and to one other place that we can drive up in the morning, and we come back after the game that night. So really not a lot of time away from home. We have a great tournament at UAB. That's the week after this one. We go to Creighton this year and have a good game versus them, and then a neutral game versus Utah Valley. So all in all, as coaches will always say, it prepares us for the conference, but at the same time, you always have to expect the unexpected, that you don't win your conference, and you need that at-large bid. And our RPI this year of the games played should be able to get us into that if we take care of business.
You mentioned the conference. How do you think the American stacks up this season?
It's going to be a beast. I think UCF with the coaching change last year, USF with the coaching change last year, that they're going to be that much stronger. And that's not to say that they weren't strong last year. You have SMU, who was won the conference and the tournament last year. You always have Tulsa, who's just a pain to play against. You have Cincinnati Temple. There's no gimmies this year whatsoever. There never are, but I truly think that instead of just this being a one-team bid, I would be shocked if we don't get 3 in at least. If everybody plays up to their potential, takes care of their out of conference, and obviously, as we see at the end of last year, we win that last game, we have a chance to make the semifinals. We didn't win it, but there was, I think, 6 or 7 other teams that it could have flip-flopped one way or another, and it's never determined until that last weekend, and I expect it to be the same way this year.
You're going to get to see the team for the first time in real action on Friday against SIU Edwardsville, 7 o'clock at Mike Rose. Before we talk about the game, did have the announcement Dr. Rudd made on Twitter that the gift has been made or in the process of being made. There will be lights making their way onto the South Campus fields, but you will still be at Mike Rose this season.
Absolutely. Out at Mike Rose, we're happy to be out there. Looking forward to having a home field advantage. The girls have already had some games out there. It looks like it's in good shape. So we're looking forward to getting out there. Obviously play SIUE Friday night there, and then we're on the road Sunday, but all of our games will be at Mike Rose this fall.
How does Edwardsville look this year? Because that's a school, might not have the big name, but they're drawing from that St. Louis Catholic League. They can get a lot of talent up there.
Absolutely. Yeah. Now, if guys don't know about it, Mario does a really good job of having them organized. They've been a thorn on our side the last couple of years. We've played them well. It's been even games, but they've gotten the better of us. The passes in the past, there's no revenge or anything like that. But to say that they've snuck up on us is that would be missaying it. So I would say that this Friday night they're going to come in organized. It's their first game. They had some turnover as well in the offseason, just like we all do. So couldn't necessarily say I know how they play or what they'll do, but I do know that they'll show up and compete for the 90 minutes plus, and we better be up for it, or else it's going to be a long start to the beginning of our season.
Well, because it just gets tougher Sunday. 5 o'clock match, you're going up to St. Louis to play the Billikens, usually a nationally ranked team, a team vying for not just national rankings, but to try to get to a Final Four.
Absolutely. I mean, the word speaks for itself. They got a new coach, Kevin, in this year that he comes from their academy. He was at SIUE previously, so he's got college experience. And again, another well-organized team, and it's St. Louis. Whether they're having a bad year or a good year, it's a beast of a game as well. And to know that they play at Notre Dame, I think Friday night, and to know it's their home opener Sunday, the crowd could be 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, who knows? Mm-hmm. So it's going to be a great environment. It can be intimidating at the same time, but if we go in and obviously stick together and do what we're supposed to do, we'll be fine. But I think the message to the guys right now is we have to take care of Friday night before we get to SLU. But I think we, as a coaching staff, we know what's coming on Sunday. It's no secret.
Coach, thanks a lot. We look forward to the season.
Anytime. Thank you.
That is Richard Mulrooney. I'm Jeff Brightwell for the Wolfchase Toyota Insider on the Memphis Tiger Network.